I'm Rachel, 33 years old, a housewife married to Adam for 4 years, but we haven't been able to conceive despite undergoing fertility treatments. One cold midwinter day, as I returned from the grocery store, I noticed a little girl, a complete stranger, squatting in front of my house without a coat. Concerned, I called out to her. "Hello there. Are you waiting for someone?" I asked gently. "Yes," the girl replied softly. "What's your name?" I inquired. "Selena," she answered. "Selena, where's your mommy?" I pressed gently. "She went somewhere," Selena replied vaguely. "Are you lost? Can you tell me your mommy's name?" I continued, trying to assess the situation. "Mary," Selena said. "Mary? You mean your mommy's name is Mary?" I clarified. Mommy told me to give you this," Selena said, handing me a crumpled piece of paper. With trembling hands, I unfolded the note. It simply read, "Take care of this child for a while." "Wait, are you Mary's daughter?" I asked, stunned by the realization. Mary, my older sister, had left home at 20 and never returned. It had been 17 years of worry, with Mary repeatedly running into trouble with men, causing financial strain, and disappearing from our lives unexpectedly. We never knew she had a child. "What time did your mom say she would pick you up?" I asked gently. "I don't know. Mommy always hangs out with men I don't know and doesn't come home until morning," Selena replied innocently. "Really? Okay, then where's your dad?" I inquired further. "I don't have a daddy," Selena said simply. "No daddy? Mommy said I should stay at your house for a while because you're her sister," she added. "I see," I said, taking her cold, trembling hand and leading her inside. I couldn't help but wonder how long she had been out there. Mary had always been irresponsible and selfish as a sister, but abandoning her own child was beyond anything I expected. Though I yearned for a child of my own, I couldn't conceive. Anger toward Mary surged within me, but I pushed it aside, focusing on warming Selena up. I turned on the stove and wrapped her in a cozy blanket. "Selena, are you hungry?" I asked gently. "Yes, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since yesterday," she admitted. "All right, just a moment. I'll get you something," I assured her. Quickly reheating the pumpkin soup I had made the day before, I served it to Selena. It was her first taste of pumpkin soup, and she eagerly drank it down. Her genuine delight touched me deeply. "Delicious. This is so good," Selena exclaimed happily. "I'm glad you like it. Have as much as you want," I replied warmly. As Selena continued to praise the soup, I sensed she was trying to lift my spirits. I wondered about her usual life and decided for now to focus on providing her with comforting meals until she was satisfied. After feeding her fried chicken, omelette, and rice, all of which she devoured with praise, Selena seemed completely satisfied. I suggested we take a bath, noticing her greasy hair indicating she hadn't bathed in days. "Selena, how about a bath?" I proposed gently. "A bath?" Selena's face tensed briefly. "Do you not like baths?" I asked, concerned. "No, it's okay," she replied quickly. "Are you sure? I'll find you some pajamas," I assured her, rushing to the bedroom to fetch clothes. Returning to the living room, I found Selena missing. Following the sound of running water, I discovered her in the kitchen sink, trying to wash her hair. "What are you doing? The water is so cold. You'll catch a cold," I exclaimed worriedly. "I'm sorry," Selena apologized softly. "It's okay. Let's get you warmed up," I said, wrapping her in a blanket and guiding her to the bathroom. Her eyes widened in surprise as she looked around. "Wow! What is it?" I asked. "It's just like the house I saw on TV," she exclaimed. It dawned on me then that Selena's home likely lacked a proper bathroom. Mary must have had her wash with cold tap water to save on gas for heating. I held back tears as I gently undressed Selena and settled her into the warm bath. "Is our bath always this warm?" she asked in wonder. "Yes, it is. From now on, you can take a bath every day," I assured her. "Really? I'm so happy," she smiled gratefully. I carefully washed Selena's body and untangled her hair, giving it a treatment to make it more manageable. She transformed back into her lovely self. I dressed her in my comfortable loungewear, and as we relaxed on the couch in the living room, Adam returned home. "I'm home," he announced cheerfully. "Welcome back," I greeted him. "This must be the girl you told me about." "I'm sorry," Adam said sympathetically. Seeing Adam, Selena shrank back in fear. "It's okay. This is my husband Adam. He's kind, so you don't need to be afraid of him," I reassured her. I explained the situation to Adam again, and he reacted with disbelief. That's terrible. Can we keep her here for a while? Adam asked. Of course. How could Mary do this to such a young child? I replied, my voice heavy with concern. After discussing it, Adam and I returned to find Selena curled up in the living room. I'll talk to Selena, I told Adam. Selena, as I mentioned earlier, this is my husband Adam. You can call him Uncle Adam, I introduced. Good evening. Adam greeted gently. The three of us will be living here together for a while. Is that okay with you? I asked Selena. Is it really okay if I stay here? She asked timidly. Of course it is. Once we're settled, you'll even go to elementary school, I assured her. I've never been to school, Selena admitted quietly. You haven't been to kindergarten? I asked, surprised. I never went to kindergarten because I'm nobody, she murmured sadly. Confused by her words, I realized Selena didn't fully understand her situation or why she felt like nobody. Sensing her discomfort, I decided not to press further that day and let her rest. The next day, I informed my parents about Selena. They hurried over to meet her. Hello, Selena. We're your grandma and grandpa, my mother said, tears welling up as they embraced her. Grandma and grandpa, Selena echoed, clearly puzzled but also visibly touched. It seemed she hadn't known she had grandparents. Later, I asked my parents to look after Selena and headed to City Hall to obtain Mary's family register. Upon checking, I discovered Mary was unmarried, and there was no record of any children. Selena's birth had never been registered. She was essentially a non-existent child who never received enrollment notices for school. That explained why Selena referred to herself as no one. I consulted with the Child Consultation Center and the municipal office. After several discussions and much assistance, Selena's family register was finally established. Selena, you can start elementary school now, I told her with a smile. I'm so happy, thank you, Selena replied gratefully. Despite being with us for over a month by then, Selena hadn't opened up much. She seemed skittish whenever Adam or I moved, and she would apologize excessively and curl up whenever she made a mistake. It was clear Mary had caused her deep pain in the past, an experience Selena couldn't forget. Selena, you don't need to apologize so much. Uncle Adam and I will never get mad at you, and we will never, ever hit you. I promise, I reassured her gently. Promise? Selena asked, seeking confirmation. Of course, I promise, I affirmed, seeing a spark of relief in her eyes. Despite my reassurances, Selena remained timid. However, as weeks passed, she gradually became more talkative and started smiling more often. Then, one day, Selena unexpectedly blurted out, I wonder when she will come for me. Hearing those words broke my heart. Despite Mary's neglect and mistreatment, Selena still longed for her mother. Since Selena came into our lives, every day had been filled with joy. Adam and I yearned for children and treated Selena as if she were our own daughter. We wanted her to stay with us for as long as possible. The day after this conversation, Selena received an invitation to enroll in elementary school. I was relieved that Selena would finally get to experience a normal school life like other children. Now that's settled, we need to get you ready for school. We'll need to buy a school bag, stationery, and plenty of clothes, I told Selena excitedly. I already have clothes, Selena replied quietly. It's okay, what you have isn't enough. You'll need more comfortable clothes for school, I insisted. Then I'll come along as the luggage carrier, Adam joked, trying to lighten the mood. Together, Selena, Adam, and I went to the shopping mall and got everything she needed for school. I enjoyed preparing for Selena's school entrance so much that we ended up buying a lot more than planned, clothes, stationery, and more. The three of us laughed and joked about how much we had bought as we headed home. To my surprise, when we arrived, Mary was standing in front of our house. Mom, Selena exclaimed. Sis, oh, welcome home, Mary greeted casually. It's not welcome home. What were you thinking? How dare you come here? I burst out angrily. Hey, calm down. Don't yell at me. It's pathetic. Who do you think is to blame here? First, apologize to Selena, I demanded, my frustration evident. Mary glanced briefly at Selena but didn't make eye contact. What do you want? I pressed. Well, we can't just stand here talking. Let me in. I'll come in whether you want me to or not. Come on, Selena, Mary said abruptly, trying to enter. Reluctantly, I allowed Mary inside and demanded an explanation for her sudden appearance. "Is this guy your husband?" Mary asked, looking at Adam. "He's a nice guy. Nice to meet you. I'm Adam," Adam replied calmly. "It's our first meeting, but let me say this. You're an unfit parent to treat your child like that. You're so irresponsible," Adam retorted firmly. "You're a stranger. You can't talk to me like that," Mary snapped back defensively. "I don't care about that. You didn't even feed her properly, did you? How could you neglect your own child like that?" Adam persisted, his voice rising in anger. "Single mothers have it tough. I raised her the best I could. You have no right to judge me," Mary defended herself, visibly annoyed. "Raise her well? You neglected her," Adam countered sharply. Mary's inability to acknowledge her shortcomings left me bewildered and frustrated. I looked over at Selena, who couldn't bring herself to meet Mary's gaze. She shrank back, clearly uncomfortable. Initially, I had assumed Selena missed her mother, but now I wasn't so sure. Interrupting the tense atmosphere, Mary spoke again. "You guys don't have kids, do you?" she asked abruptly. "No, but that's beside the point," I replied, taken aback. "I'm giving you this child. I've raised her through the toughest years. You'll be lucky to have an older kid," Mary declared callously. "Do you even know what you're saying?" I asked incredulously. "I know exactly what I'm saying. I'm giving you poor, childless people a kid. You should be grateful," Mary said with disdain. "Unbelievable," Adam muttered under his breath. "Oh, so you don't want her?" Mary retorted defensively. "I'm not giving her back to you, even if you ask," I interjected firmly. "I've already registered her in my family register, and she's starting elementary school next month," I informed Mary. "I'll make sure she's happier than she ever was with you," I added with determination. "Oh, so you managed to make a family register?" Mary scoffed. "Of course I did. Why did you file a birth certificate? Because you didn't want people to know you had a child?" I questioned pointedly. "You kept Selena from going to kindergarten or elementary school because of that. It's not just neglect, it's active truancy." Mary seemed unfazed. "There's nothing wrong with not going to school," she dismissed. "It's not worth talking to you," Adam said, shaking his head in disbelief. It became clear that Mary had split up with Selena's father before giving birth, never registering him as the father. She left Selena alone repeatedly to date men under the guise of being unmarried and childless, hoping to marry a new and raise her child. "I already said we're keeping Selena. Don't come back here again," I asserted firmly. "You're getting a person, so $10 million is a small price to pay, right? What's the problem? You're selling your own daughter for money," Mary argued callously. "I'm not selling her. Selena is a human being, not a commodity," I replied sharply. Refusing to back down, Mary threatened to take Selena back with her. "If you won't pay, then I'll take Selena back home, lock her up again, and make her wash with cold tap water," Mary threatened coldly. "I won't allow that," I countered firmly. "Fine, $10 million. I can give it to you right now, so you'll have to come back later to collect it. Selena will stay here until then," I lied, buying time to protect Selena. "Fine by me. I don't want to deal with her anyway," Mary dismissed, seemingly satisfied with the agreement. Though I had no intention of paying, I pretended to agree to prevent Mary from taking Selena away immediately. Adam and I discussed our next steps, but before taking any action, we decided to understand Selena's feelings. "Selena, do you want to go back to your mommy?" I asked gently. "I don't want to go back. Mom scares me. She always yells at me and says mean things," Selena replied, her voice trembling. "I understand. The other day, you mentioned wondering when your mother would come for you," I said softly. "I thought if mommy came, I'd have to go back there, and I want to stay here forever," Selena confessed. "Okay, I understand. From now on, we'll do everything we can to make sure you stay with us," I assured her. After confirming Selena's feelings, Adam and I decided to investigate Mary's background using a private investigator Adam knew. We discovered that Mary was engaged to an elite lawyer. With this information, we devised a plan to protect Selena without Mary finding out. A week later, everything was in place. We lied to Mary, telling her we had the money ready and were prepared to meet. On the day of the meeting, I invited Mary to my house while my parents looked after Selena. "Hey, do you have the money?" Mary demanded as soon as she arrived. "I'm not giving you Selena, and I'm not paying you," I stated firmly. "I came here because you said you had the money. Hand it over," Mary insisted. Do you have any idea how much pain you've caused Selena? Selling her for money? I retorted, trying to keep my composure. You don't know anything about raising kids. They can grow up fine even if they're left alone, Mary argued callously. You didn't even tell your boyfriend about Selena, did you? I pressed. Of course not. He's an elite lawyer, and we're getting married next year. We'll have a perfect life together. Leave us alone, Mary snapped defensively. What would he think if he knew? Suddenly, Mary's boyfriend, the elite lawyer, entered the room. He looked at Mary in shock. Is what she's saying true? He demanded. Did you lie to me? He continued, his voice rising. What's going on here? Why are you here? You told me you were single and had no children. I've never been married. I just happened to have a child by mistake, Mary admitted, looking down. By mistake? What a horrible thing to say, Mary's boyfriend exclaimed, his voice filled with disbelief. Don't act innocent. You almost deceived me into marriage without telling me the truth. You betrayed me, he accused, his tone turning cold. Of course, I'm breaking off the engagement. You've deceived me, so I'll be seeking alimony, he declared firmly. Broken engagement. Alimony. Wait, please don't leave me, Mary pleaded desperately. Shut up. I can't marry someone who treats their own child like that. I don't want to see your face ever again, he retorted, his voice full of disdain. Why did you bring him here, Rachel? Why are you doing this to me? Mary turned to me, anger and desperation in her voice. Because I knew I couldn't handle this alone. I've already spoken with a lawyer about Selena's case, I replied calmly. I was skeptical until I heard it from Mary herself. But now that I know the truth, I'll be representing Rachel and her family fully. You'll regret making an enemy out of a lawyer, Mary's boyfriend added, his expression hardening. Please forgive me, Mary pleaded, her voice trembling. Soon after, a police officer arrived at our house. I had previously arranged for an investigation into child abandonment. Secret recordings from Mary's previous visits and today's encounter were provided as evidence. The police took Mary into custody under charges of child abandonment, placing her under protective custody pending further legal proceedings. She was to face the consequences of her actions behind bars. It was a long and difficult process, but after navigating through various legal procedures, Selena was officially allowed to live with us. As the lawyer had promised, Mary was held accountable and required to compensate for breaking off the engagement. Mary had little defense and suffered significant consequences. Upon her release from prison, Mary not only lost her boyfriend but also lost custody of Selena. Her life took a downward spiral as she struggled to meet her financial obligations, losing her former charm and appeal to men. Recently, she burst into our house in tears, demanding Selena's return. She's my baby. Give her back, Mary pleaded desperately. What are you talking about? Selena is ours now. You're no longer her legal guardian, I replied firmly. No, not mommy. Uncle and auntie are my mommy and daddy now, Selena asserted. I'm here, Adam added, confirming his role as a father figure. No, why? I'm your mommy, Mary insisted. Selena, however, firmly rejected Mary, causing her to leave in despair. I resolved that Mary would never regain custody of Selena. She needed to reflect on her actions and face the consequences of her neglect and abandonment. I hoped she would learn to live with the loneliness she had brought upon herself. Meanwhile, Adam and I decided to stop our painful infertility treatments. Now, the three of us spend our days together filled with laughter. I'm grateful for the happiness Selena has brought into our lives and look forward to giving her all the love and care she deserves for the rest of my life.